Adana had always believed that marriage was built on trust. She married Femi with the hopes of building a life together, supporting each other's dreams, and growing as a family. For years, she worked tirelessly as a fashion designer, her fingers weaving fabrics into elegant masterpieces that attracted wealthy clients. Every kobo she earned, she saved for their future, a house, their children's education, and most importantly, the dream boutique she had always wanted to open. Femi, on the other hand, was charming but restless. His business ventures never seemed to take off. He would start one today, abandon it tomorrow, and come home with the grand tales of the next big thing. Whenever he was low on cash, he would smile at Adana, his voice dripping with reassurance. "Sweetheart, it's for us. Just a little from your savings, and I promise I'll return it with interest." At first, she didn't mind. What was marriage without support? She handed him small amounts here and there, telling herself that a man needed to feel like a provider. But soon, Femi's requests became more frequent, more urgent. The rent is due. The car needs repairs. "I found an amazing investment opportunity, but I need quick cash." Each time he had a reason, and each time she hesitated. Each time he convinced her. One evening, Adana sat to check her bank balance, and a cold wave of dread washed over her. Her savings had been drained. She rushed to Femi, her voice trembling. "Where is my money?" He leaned back in his chair, unbothered, swirling a glass of expensive whiskey she had never seen before. "I used it," her heart pounded. "On what?" "The family," he replied smoothly, taking a sip. Adana's hands clenched into fist. "Femi, I worked for that money. You promised to return it." He chuckled, the sound sending chills down her spine. "Relax, my love. Money comes and goes." That night she barely slept. The boutique she had planned, the security she had built, it was all gone. But the worst was yet to come. A week later, she arrived at a prestigious fashion event where she was supposed to be recognized for her work. She had spent months preparing for it, crafting unique designs, sewing late into the night. But when the announcer called the award winner, she felt her breath itch. The brilliant entrepreneur who had redefined fashion in her community, Femi Adedayo, her husband. He walked onto the stage smiling confidently as he accepted her award. He turned to the audience, delivering a speech filled with lies, how he had worked tirelessly, how he had built the brand from scratch. Adana sat frozen in her chair, her nails digging into her palm. Adana sat in her audience, her vision blurry with tears, as Femi basked in the applause meant for her. The words of his speech felt like knives slicing through her soul. He spoke about dedication, perseverance, and creativity, qualities that were hers, not his. She wanted to stand up to scream the truth, but her body refused to move. Would they even believe her? Her own husband had stolen from her, lied to the world, and yet he stood on that stage untouchable. The audience clapped, oblivious to the betrayal unfolding before their eyes. Something inside her broke that night, and for the first time she realized that Femi hadn't just stolen her money, he had stolen her future. When he returned home that night, he was humming, spinning the award in his hands like a trophy from a game well played. Adana was waiting in the living room, her arms crossed, fury burning in her chest. "How could you?" she demanded, her voice shaking. Femi sighed, tossing his jacket on the couch. "You're upset." "Upset?" She let out a bitter laugh. "You stood on that stage and claimed my work as yours. You stole my money, Femi. And now my name?" He walked over, placing his hands on her shoulders as if she were a child throwing a tantrum. "Sweetheart, does it really matter who gets the recognition? We are one. Your success is my success." Adana jerked away from his touch. "No, Femi, my success was supposed to be mine." He sighed again, this time with irritation. "You are thinking too small, Ada. Do you know how many doors this will open for us? For you?" Something inside her snapped. "My little boutique." Her voice wavered. "You think you can take everything from me and tell me what matters? Femi, I have nothing left. No savings, no business, no future." Femi's expression hardened. "Don't be dramatic. We are married. You still have me." Silence stretched between them. That was the moment Adana realized she had nothing, because she had given everything to a man who only knew how to take. That night she lay in bed, staring at the ceiling while Femi snored beside her, his arm draped over the award as if it were his prize. Rage twisted inside her, but beneath it, a seed of something stronger took root. She wasn't going to let this be the end of her story. The next morning, she walked into her shared office where Femi kept his business papers. She knew he was careless, overconfident. He never hid anything because he never believed she would dare to challenge him. She rifled through drawers, her hands shaking. Bank statements, contracts, everything in his name. He had been planning this all along. He had built a fake empire off her back, and she had been too blinded by love to see it. A lump rose in her throat, but she swallowed it down. She had one choice now. Either she let him bury her completely or she fought back. She took a deep breath and picked her phone. I need a lawyer. Femi had stolen her future. Now she was going to take it back. Adana's finger trembled as she dialed the number of the only person she knew she could trust, her childhood friend Kemi, who was now a lawyer. The moment Kemi picked up, Adana's voice wavered, but she forced herself to stay strong. Kemi, I need your help. Kemi could hear the desperation in her voice. Adana, what is wrong? Adana inhaled deeply before speaking. Femi stole my money, my work, everything. He took credit for my designs and even won an award for it. I have nothing left. There was silence on the line. Then Kemi's voice came through, firm and reassuring. Meet me at my office in an hour. We will fix this. Adana hung up. Her heart pounding. She had spent years allowing Femi to take from her, but no more. By the time she arrived at Kemi's office, her hands were clammy. Kemi listened intently as Adana poured out the entire story. From the first time Femi borrowed money to the moment he walked off the stage with her award. When Adana finished, Kemi's expression darkened. Adana, this is fraud. And if we dig deeper, I'm sure we'll find more. Thoughts sent a shiver down Adana's spine. She had been so focused on what she knew he had done. She hadn't considered what else he might have been hiding. Adana's stomach twisted. What if I'm too late? Kemi reached for her hand. You are not too late, but you have to be smart. This isn't just about money, it's about taking back your life. For the first time in years, Adana felt something other than fear. She felt power. That night, Adana returned home with a plan forming in her mind. She had always played the role of the obedient wife, the supportive partner, but now she would become something else, a hunter. In the jungle, Femi thought he ruled. She found him in the living room, flipping through his phone, completely unaware of the storm brewing. How was your day, sweetheart? He asked casually. Adana forced a smile. Eventful, she sat beside him, pretending to admire his award. I've been thinking, maybe you are right. Maybe I should stop being upset and just enjoy our success. Femi's lip curled into a smirk. Now you are talking. She ran her fingers over the golden plaque. But tell me, love, when the sponsors approached you, what exactly did you tell them about your designs? Femi grinned, too caught up in his ego to see the trap. Oh, they loved my vision, said I had a unique touch. They even want to invest in my next project. Adana's pulse raced. He was about to build an empire on a foundation of lies. She leaned in, playing her part. That's amazing. You deserve it, Femi. Femi laughed. Of course I do, Adana. But behind her eyes, there was a promise of war. Let him think he had won, because the moment he let his guard down, she would strike. Adana played her role perfectly. She smiled when Femi bragged, nodded when he talked about his business empire, even laughed at his jokes. She was a storm, ready to unleash his fury. Over the next few days, she dug deeper into his financial records, using every quiet moment to uncover his secrets. And what she found made her blood run cold. Femi wasn't just spending her money. He had taken loans in her name. Millions. Her heart pounded as she stared at the documents she had copied from his office. She recognized the forged signatures, the fake business proposals. He had been using her reputation, her talent to secure funding from investors who believed in his lies. The worst part, the money was gone. There were no investments, no business ventures, just luxury cars, expensive watches, and weekends at high-end resorts with women Adana didn't know. Her hands trembled as she clutched the papers. It wasn't just betrayal anymore. It was destruction. That evening, Adana set the stage. She prepared his favorite meal, poured his drink, and waited. Femi walked in, his usual cocky smirk in place. I knew you'd come around, he said, dropping his keys on the table. Adana smiled sweetly. Oh, I have. She placed a folder in front of him. I just wanted to celebrate your success and ask you about this. Femi's smirk fluttered as he flipped through the documents. His eyes darkened. Where did you get this? Adana leaned back, crossing her arms. The real question is, why did you think you could get away with it? His jaw clenched. Adana, you're overreacting. Am I? She slammed her hand on the table. You stole my money, my business, my future. And now I find out that you have dragged me into debt? Femi's face twisted with anger. Lower your voice, Adana laughed. A sharp, bitter sound. And now you're scared? Afraid the neighbors will hear that the brilliant entrepreneur is nothing but a thief. He reached for her arm, but she yanked away. I trusted you, Femi. I believed in you. Her voice cracked, but she refused to break. And you repaid me by destroying everything I worked for. Femi exhaled sharply. Fine. You want to fight me? You will lose. Everything is in my name. The investors believe in me. If you try to expose me, no one will believe you. Adana's stomach twisted, but she kept her expression blank. She had expected this. Placing her phone on the table, she pressed play. Femi's own voice filled the room. I lied to those investors, Adana. Do you know how many doors this will open for us? Your success is my success. Everything is in my name. If you try to expose me, no one will believe you. His face drained of color. You recorded me? Adana smiled. I learned from the best. For the first time, Femi looked nervous. What do you want? Adana picked up her phone, standing tall. I want my life back. Femi's arrogant smirk had vanished. He was no longer the confident man who had stolen from her, betrayed her and made a mockery of her dreams. Now he was exposed, cornered and desperate. His eyes darted to her phone. Adana, let's be reasonable. We don't have to do this. She let out a sharp laugh. We? There's no we anymore, Femi. You made sure of that. He swallowed hard, his mind racing. If you release that recording, you will destroy everything. My reputation, my connections. My reputation? Adana snapped. My hard work? You built nothing, Femi. You just took and took until there was nothing left. She watched as panic crept into his features. He was finally realizing that she wasn't the quiet, submissive wife he had always manipulated. She picked up the second folder on the table and slid it towards him. What is this? He asked, eyeing it suspiciously. Divorce papers, she said calmly. You are going to sign them, Femi's jaw tightened. You think you can just walk away from me? I don't think, Femi, I know. His hands balled into fists. I made you, Adana. Adana laughed. You broke me, but I rebuilt myself. She pulled out a pen and placed it in front of him. Sign it, or I'll make sure you leave here in handcuffs. For a long moment, he knew he had lost. With a deep breath, he grabbed the pen and signed his name with a sharp stroke. Adana picked up the papers, feeling an overwhelming sense of relief. It was over. 3 months later, Adana stood in front of her new boutique, the one she had rebuilt with her own hands, the one that bore her name. The scandal had destroyed Femi. Investors pulled out, sponsors vanished, and his name became synonymous with fraud. Meanwhile, the truth about Adana's work had spread and the fashion industry welcomed her back with open hands. As she unlocked the doors to her new store, Kemi stood beside her grinning. You did it. Adana exhaled, a slow smile forming on her lips. No, Kemi, I took it back. She had lost everything to a man who had stolen her future. But now she had rewritten her own destiny. And this time no one could take it from her.
In the heart of Africa, where the sun kisses the land, there's a channel called Jubosmiles, where legends take a stand. From the mighty savannah to the whispering trees, heroes rise and fall.